So I pre-pulled these cards. We have the Death card, the Eight of Cups, the Strength card, the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. This is giving me huge turnaround energy. The Death card, Scorpio energy, which is coming up soon. It's about rebirth, really. You know, it's about the transition of life, the transition of good and bad, transition of death, you know, any kind of dichotomy in life. It's an ending, but a welcomed one. And it's a good ending, even though it ended terribly, right? With the Eight of Cups, there's a lot of shattered dreams, a lot of things that you found yourself caught up in regarding love that did not work for you. There's 8 cups here. This could be a group, it could be a family, or it could just mean that you were completely shattered with a relationship in many different ways regarding love. But the Strength card here is exactly that. She signifies strength through life's hard times, and she does not meet life back with hardness. So she transmutes energy into softness and grace when she's faced with fear and danger. So I feel like you definitely went through some sort of transformation regarding a relationship or relationships, and it took a lot of strength to do this, especially on your own, and do it with grace, not meddle in the mud, not play tit for tat with people or fight back. You kind of respectfully declined and you left. And this bottom row with the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and Three of Wands, it's all about planning and balancing. Again, we have 2 balancing cards with the Strength card, which is feminine and masculine, and just kind of overcoming forces through the opposite energy. And the Two of Pentacles is about balancing your life, right? Being your best self, you know, creating an equilibrium for yourself that allows you to be your best self. And when you're around bad relationships, you know, that takes that best self away. Like, it takes the opportunity for you to invest in yourself, be creative. This person is bright again, right? So you might be feeling relieved, you know, past the heartache, past the sadness. There comes a point, which I call grace, you know, where you feel relieved of your pain, and you're able to start over again. And that's what I see yourself doing here. You're investing, you're being creative again. You know, this is a really vibrant card. You know, she's really stacking her pentacles, and you know, she's glowing again. She's within her own realm. She's herself again. Sometimes, even though you might be able to handle a lot of responsibility, you can't become a martyr to certain forces or energies. And sometimes you have to learn to, again, gracefully walk away here, and not take on so much to stress yourself out. Sometimes you can, like, take a little bit off your plate, you know, loosen up your schedule so you have more time to do nothing, relax, rest, meditate, be alone, instead of constantly going, and you never give yourself a chance to regurgitate what just happened to you, right? Just kind of defrag your brain, you know, go through what happened for the week, you know, and collect your thoughts, because that's how all these attention, you know, deficit disorders apparently people have, because they don't concentrate on one thing at a time. They have too many things spinning all at once, and they can't focus on anything then, because there's too much going on at once, and they can't focus on one thing at one time. It doesn't matter how many tasks you have. You might have 100 tasks to do after this one task. Get one task done first, then move on to the next one. Focus precisely on one thing at a time. Yes, people can learn how to multitask, but the more you multitask, the more things that you're juggling, the less efficient you're going to be at it. You might be good enough, but if you want to be good at whatever you're doing, you can't focus on, you know, 20 things at the same time. It makes 0 sense. it's giving me like you are definitely on your glow up kind of energy, where you're glowing differently. You feel better about yourself now that you're out of this dark space. Like, look at this, you went from dark to completely, you know, vibrant again. And that's what the death card can bring. You know, she's not about doom and gloom, and it could feel like that in the moment, but on the other side is rebirth, transformation. Real Scorpio energy isn't just the scorpion sign. It's 3 different signs. It's the scorpion, the phoenix, and then the eagle. It's all about the transition of the soul and the mind, becoming wiser, becoming enlightened, right? And it's the transformation going on and on in a circle. You know, you're constantly growing. And if you become an eagle, you know, then you become more enlightened and wise in your approach to life. But in order for the phoenix to rise, it was burnt to ashes. There's no remnants of his past self behind. And that's kind of what this, you know, this are doing. You're a completely different person than you were, and that's okay. Nine of Swords comes out. It's all about anxiety, you know, being indecisive, insomnia. There's no more of that. I don't feel like you have any more of that, because you could sleep well at night knowing that you're back to your old way of living. 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups is definitely giving me loss of love, loss of family, loss of friends, loss of a community. Very sad times for you, but you have enough strength and grace. God was beside you to move on, and now you're lightening your load, and that load can be people around you. Sometimes you have to let go of people around you that are weighing you down. Knight of Pentacles. Being responsible for your actions, doing the work that needs to be done to get where you're going. You're not expecting, look, this man's walking and his horse is behind him. He's not expecting the horse to fucking walk for him, right? He respects the horse. Everyone has different strengths. Like, again, with the strength card and then the man and the horse with the Knight of Pentacles, it's the balance and it's the mutual respect. That's how you remain stable with people. And you know the difference. So now you're making new turns, you know, new things happen for yourself. And your intuition is lighting the way, the Hermit. You know, being introspective on where you're going, who you are now. You don't have to have people tell you who they think you are. You know who you are. There's a lot of people that will gaslight you and pretend, you know, to, you know, kind of like tell you who they think you are. It's all a projection of who they are, but if you just stay in your own energy and remain strong and confident in your approach to who you are, and you know your morals, you know where your heart lies, you can't have people mucking around in it and gaslighting you, and you are silly enough to believe it. Right? You're the type of person that just goes like, oh, really? Okay, well, okay, I'm lightening that load. You know, like, picture every single person not as a person, but as energy. And whatever energy you are around that day can make you feel different ways. You have to learn to evaluate the energies that are around you and get rid of, you know, the bad energy, the ones that are weighing you down. Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles, it's all about like investing and being peaceful. We have a girl here that's in tree pose, which is all about rooting down in, you know, into the ground and remaining flexible enough to go through life still, you know, because life has ups and downs, like exactly like a tree would be. A tree is heavily rooted in the ground, and they have their roots, right? The roots can be really deep, but also they're also flexible enough to not break off in the wind. You know, when it's really windy, you see trees swaying and they never break because they're still flexible enough to roll with the punches of life. You can't expect life to just work out for you all the time, and you can't expect life to do things for you, right? You have to be the one doing the things. We have 3 of Cups here. Celebration. I think wherever you're headed to, like this girl, she's about to take she's looking for a wave to surf. The Three of Wands, she's like, she knows where she's going, she just has to find the right path. She has to find that right wave to jump on, or the right time to get into the water. The Three of Cups there is kind of giving me like, you've turned into a completely different person, and now you know your strength. You really know your strength. And even though you don't want to have to exude it all the time, you know that you have it. And that gives you confidence in yourself all the time. You're going to have enough stability in the future. You know who to let go in order to invest wisely. And I feel like all of your investments and your plans going forward, now that you are free and you are enlightened, you're going to enjoy the outcome. You might find new people that you enjoy being around. So we go from the Five of Cups to Three of Cups, so the Tower, the Two of Cups, and the Wheel. The Tower, the Death card, an abrupt end to your old ways. The Wheel of Life, which is all about dichotomy and balance again. The wheel can turn good, it can turn bad. Just like the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it lands on $1 million, whatever it is, and sometimes it lands on bankruptcy. That's the Wheel of Fortune. There's good and bad energies in that card, but again, with the balancing, we have 3 cards all about balancing energy and knowing which ones to get off your plate. Too many plates to spin, get rid of some on the table. You know which way to go because you know how to listen to your intuition. We have the Three of Cups, and the last card is the Two of Cups. So I think you're going to be able to find the people that you gel with, the people that just make you feel relaxed around. People you don't have to worry about them just setting you up or doing the shoe drop. Narcissists keep people walking on eggshells all the time because you never know when the narcissist is going to do something else. You never know when they're going to say something else that's shitty or set you up or give you an insult or whatever they do, right? So you always have to be on guard. But with the right people around you that are loving, the right community, you can relax when you're in the room with them, knowing that you're friends, like you actually are comrades. I don't know why I'm getting that word. But camaraderie, where you can just relax knowing that you're in a room where there's mutual respect among one another and mutual love. Even if it's friendship-based, there's respect here. And that respect gives you a relief. So the energies around you are going to change for the better. They're going to get more positive the more aware you become of who you let in, who you don't. Have a little wiggle room for, life's challenges still, because nothing ever is going to go completely perfect for you. But you've definitely gone through this huge tower moment and a death to your old self. And now you're kind of like wiser, more even kinder, and more humble about every step of the way that you're taking. And that's this balancing energy is really going to take you far. Because when you're balanced, even in your mind, you give yourself the chance to really think things through. You make better decisions for yourself. And it could just mean a whole bunch of good things with the wheel. So again, she's remaining balanced on the wheel that's spinning, right? And also doing tree pose. So we have 2 cards here that are doing tree pose. So it says remain grounded. I'm getting remain grounded in your convictions in life and where you're going. And the balancing act for you will pay you out heavily in return in all good ways, with people, with relationships, and with money.